A very good morning to all of you. I, Momita Ghosh, on behalf of Team ICDIAC 2025 and Department of Ceramic Engineering NIT Rourkela, extend a gracious welcome to all the esteemed guests, distinct speakers, enthusiastic participants, and listeners to the insightful lecture series named as Panda-Samaddar-Sinha Memorial Lecture Series. It has been named to commemorate the invaluable contributions of the pillars and stalwarts of ceramic department who are Dr. J.D. Panda, Professor B.N. Samadar, and Professor R.K. Sinha. Ceramic materials play a crucial role in industries ranging from electronics to aerospace, and optimizing their production is key to sustainability and efficiency. Identifying and mitigating the defects at the pre-fire stage is not just about improving quality, it directly impacts production costs, energy consumption, and carbon footprint. This lecture series on the topic Identification and Control of Defects in Free-Fire Industrial and Advanced Ceramics, Effect on Cost, Energy, and Carbon Emission aims to bring together experts and researchers to explore innovative strategies and best practices in defect control, ultimately contributing to more efficient and environmentally friendly ceramic manufacturing. To chair the inaugural session of ICDIAC 2025, we have among us our chief guest as Mr. Birendra Prasad, Plant Head RHI Magnesita India Refractories, Rajgampur. Guest of honor, Dr. Nikhil Ranjan Bhattacharjee, Freelance Consultant on Refractories, Dr. Debashis Bhattacharjee, FR Engineer, Professor of Practice IIT Madras, our Honorable Director Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao as the patron, Head of the Department Ranabrata Majumdar Sir, Professor K. Swadesh Pratihar Dean Strict, and the Principal Coordinators Professor Santanu Bhattacharya and Coordinator Devashis Sarkar. To commence the event, I take the privilege to invite all the dignitaries to the dais. Please. So, we welcome you all. Flowers symbolize respect, warmth, and a heartfelt welcome. To honor our esteemed guests and other dignitaries on the dais, I request our volunteers to present flower bouquets as a token of our appreciation to all of them. Music has the power to connect us with the divine and create an atmosphere of harmony, and light symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and the dispelling of darkness. As we embark on this enlightening journey of ideas and discussions, let us invoke positivity by lighting the ceremonial lamp, along with an invocation song to be rendered by Mridula. May I request all the dignitaries to come forward and do the honor of lighting the ceremonial lamp. Please, dignitaries. And the volunteers, please assist them. Thank you, everyone. May I now request our coordinator, Professor Debashish Sarkar sir, to do the welcome address for the audience.
Good morning to all dignitaries, participants, colleagues, friends, and students. I am pleased to welcome you all to this 5-day short-term conference on identification and control of defects in pre-fired industrial and advanced ceramics, effect on cost, energy, and carbon emission. On behalf of Team ICDIAC, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our sponsoring agencies, distinguished delegates from industries and R&D laboratories, students from GCECT Kolkata, Bikaner Technical University, and our students and research scholars. Your presence here reflects the growing importance of addressing defects in pre-fired ceramics and their impact on cost, energy efficiency, and carbon emissions. This course is the brainchild of Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya. Eventually, it is finalized with feedback from prominent experts in this field. We received incredible support from different personalities, and I want to extend special thanks to Arvind, Shashwat, Sanket, and many more. We have received financial commitments from DST, Kajaria, Metwich, Galleries, JSW, Service Refractories, and more. Still, our diamond sponsor, Mahakashal, has been the first to extend their full support. Thank you for your generosity. This conference, which started as just a seed of an idea 4 months ago, has now turned into reality, thanks to the collective effort of academia, industry professionals, and researchers. Over the next 5 days, we will explore critical topics, including the influence of raw materials and process variables on product quality, defect identification in green or pre-fired ceramics, and related environmental concerns. Experts from the refractory, tile, sanitary ware, and advanced ceramics sectors will present case studies, fostering insightful discussions that will help establish best practices for defect control. I encourage you to engage actively, share your insights, and maximize this learning experience. Let's contribute to advancing ceramic technology and building a more sustainable future together. Once again, welcome to ICDIAC 25, and thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful talk or description. May I now request the volunteer to bring the souvenir for the release of the official souvenir of this function. Thank you, everyone. Now moving forward, now I would like to request Professor Swadesh Kumar Pratihar, Dean SIG, to address the gathering.
Distinguished guest, Professor K. Umamaheshwar Rao, Director of our institute. Industrial stalwarts here, Mr. Biren Prasad, Chief Guest of today's function. Dr. N.R. Bhattacharya and Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya, guest of honor of today's function. Professor Ranabhat Majumdar, Head of the Department. Professor Debashish Sarkar and Shantanu Bhattacharya, Coordinator of this event. Respected faculty members, resource persons from industry, academia, and R&D. Participants, dear students, staffs, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. I welcome you to the inaugural session of the short-term course on identification and control of defects in pre-fired industrial and advanced ceramics, effect of cost, energy, and carbon emission. The theme of the course emphasizes the critical aspects of ceramic manufacturing that hold significant implication for both industrial efficiency and environmental sustainability. Identifying and mitigating the defects in pre-fired ceramics are pivotal in reducing material waste, optimizing energy consumption, and minimizing carbon emission. Fostering discussions on advanced control strategies, defect analysis, and sustainable production practices, this short-term course serves a platform to drive innovation and best practices in this field. Our distinct domain experts from the leading industry, academics, and R&D organization will guide you through the comprehensive curriculum that includes defect analysis, their control strategies in each and every stage of ceramic processing. This course is not just about acquiring knowledge, it is about a community of professional dedication of advancing the field of ceramic engineering. I am confident that this short-term course will immensely benefit all of you. It will empower you to return your respective organization with the tools and expertise needed to improve product quality, reduce cost, and contribute to more sustainable future. I will express my sincere gratitude to the coordinators, students, staffs of our department, domain experts, as well as the sponsored and the individuals who contributed to this course. Your support has been instrumental in making it possible. Finally, I wish all the participants a productive and enriching learning experience ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Now, may I take the privilege to invite the head of the department, Professor Anubhata Majumdar, to come over the dais.
Good morning to all. Respected Professor K. Muhammad Rao, and Director NIT Rourkela, respected Mr. Birendra Prasad, Chief Guest of this short-term course, Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya, and Dr. N.R. Bhattacharya, Guest of Honor, Professor S.K. Patihar, and Professor Debashish Sarkar, Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya, Coordinator of this course. On behalf of the Department of Ceramic Engineering, I congratulate the organizing committee of ICT Act 25 for their contribution and efforts in conducting this 5-day-long short-term course on identification and control of defect in pre-fired industrial and advanced ceramics, effect on cost, energy, and carbon emission. The department was established in the year 1994 under the leadership of Professor B.N. Samaddar. The department's dynamic faculty members with their teaching, research, and consultancy activities in various areas ranging from conventional ceramics to frontier of material science. So department has 45 research scholars working in those above areas. So department has 225 undergraduate and postgraduate students. The department offers BTech, MTech dual, MTech by research, and PhD for regular and executive PhD member for the industry and academic professional. The department is endowed with some of the best processing and characterization facilities and continues to strive for excellence and realizing its vision of becoming a leading department in the country for teaching, research, and consultancy in the emerging areas of ceramic science and engineering, while consolidating its strength in traditional areas of ceramics like refractories, glass, and whitewares. So in this backdrop, to have an update of the development of ceramics, especially in the field of industrial ceramics and advanced ceramics, this 5-day-long short-term course on the theme of identification, control, and defects in pre-fired ceramics and sustainability is organized. It is indeed a great pleasure to organize the short-term course with the full support of our highly motivated and active students and to hear from the industrial experts and academic stalwarts during this 5-day program. I hope the short-term course will be a grand success for all the attendees and especially for our own students and participants from other institutes with technical updates, interactive discussion, and
concluding remarks from the expert panelist. I hope that the participant will have an intellectually stimulating event which will promote close collaboration between all the participating organizations. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now may I request Professor Santanu Bhattacharya, Principal Coordinator of ICTIAC 2025, to take over the dais and let you know about the importance and need of this workshop or lecture series. Please, sir.
Good morning. Director Professor K. Maheshwar Rao, Chief Guest Mr. Biren Prasad, Plant Head RHI Magnesira Rajgangpur, Guest of Honor Dr. Ina Bhattacharya and Guest of Honor Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya. My Head of the Department Professor Majumdar, Dean Srik Professor Pratihar, my colleague and coordinator for this short-term course Professor Debashish Sarkar. Good morning to all of you. I am sloppy, so there is a slight delay, and I am sloppy, so because of that, in spite of many bonus, many return gifts, I could not make this hall full with my students. I am sorry, sir, I requested you to postpone the all ceramic students exam today. I take back my words, and I assure you that you can you can give 1 grade back to all the students who are absent today. Okay. जावेद अख्तर जब एक दिलीप कुमार के ऊपर कुछ मेमोरियल लेक्चर में कुछ बोला गया था, तो बोले क्या क्या बोलूं, इस छोटे से टाइम में क्या क्या बोलूं. सो इफ आई वांट टू स्टार्ट विथ थैंक्स, इस छोटे से टाइम में मैं किस किस को थैंक दूं, किस किस को नहीं दूं. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ mentioning each individual, I say thank you to all. If you find there is some problem in this course, in the management, in the organization, in the technical deliberations, anywhere, hospitality, everywhere, put the blame right on me, because I am, as a leader, have taken all the decisions and I take the responsibility for it. However, if you like something of it, the credit goes to my coordinator, my volunteers who have worked tirelessly for last 4 months to make this a reality. I read somewhere, कुछ सपने टूट गए हैं लेकिन कुछ ख्वाहिशें बाकी हैं. हाँ, कुछ सपने टूटे हैं during this 4 months journey, लेकिन कुछ ख्वाहिशें बाकी नहीं है, कुछ पूरे हुए हैं. One of such thing was to have Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya as one of the guests in one of the program conducted by another Bhattacharya. So that became a reality thanks to Lord Jagannath's mercy. But there is my director, Professor K. Maheshwar Rao. So when Maheshwar is there, Lord Jagannath is there, something is going to happen, that I know. Not only that, but actually I wanted Arjun to be here. So Sobhasachi Roy of Ceramat was invited, but he said, अब सब सामने रहेंगे तो मेरा तो काम है तीर चलाना, मैं पीछे से करूंगा. So he will be back, he will be here on 25th. So मुझे उमा महेश्वर राव जी से पूरा यकीन है, फिर भी डबल कवच के लिए मैंने विश्वनाथ मुखर्जी को बुलाया, अमिल वो कल आएंगे. So when I have so many God and goddesses right here, things are going to move. Okay. I am here not to tell about the importance of this course. The presence of so many great people, industrialists, many important dignitaries, itself is a signature that this course has some relevance. This topic has a relevance. My very senior person of the industry, Mr. Ashok Agarwal, chairman of the Sarvesh Refractories Private Limited, I met him twice, maybe in last 15 days or so, and every time he said, "ये तो होना ही है, ये तो discussion करना था." I met the ever busy Mr. Virendra Prasad in his office, not once, twice, but thrice. Every time he greeted me with a cup of tea and some biscuit. But he also said, "Dada, ye to hona hai." I asked him, "You are here for maybe around 40 years or so. Still, I find cracked silica brick in your chamber, which I used to see in S.K. Chaudhary's chamber." So he said, "Yes, that is the problem, and that's why he is going to talk. Probably, I don't know whether he will agree or not, he has agreed or not." I said that firing of silica bricks or manufacturing silica brick, a mystery still to be solved. I hope that he will talk something in that line. The idea of inviting Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya, it mooted long back ago, but it took a definite shape on 23rd January, when I was invited by Director CGCRI, Professor Bikramjit Basu. That was 23rd January, I believe. December, okay, sorry, 1 month ahead. 23rd December, when I got a WhatsApp message that this is a inaugural Platinum Jubilee seminar, and my personal request. When Professor Basu is doing that, I have to go. I was doing some other job, I came. The name sounded a little familiar, the title sounded more familiar, but later on it said, Professor of Practice, IIT Madras. I could not correlate. So, out of sheer curiosity, I went there. I found someone, thoda pehchana, thoda jana lagta hai. But when he started talking, the first sentence itself made me sure that this is the man whom I was looking for. I met him courtesy Professor Bankim Roy, his batchmate in Jadavpur, many times, about 2-3 times. But Professor B.C. Rai को मैंने कभी डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया, लेकिन आज वो किया है, बोला कि इतना देर के बाद ले जाएंगे, ठीक है भाई. I am thank you Dr. Bhattacharya, or rather Debashish, for agreeing to come. I know that you have a busy schedule and you have taken all the trouble to come here, and but ये पहली बार है शायद द्वारकाधीश सुदामा के घर आए हैं. वैसे तो सुदामा द्वारकाधीश के घर जाते हैं, लेकिन पहली बार हुआ कि द्वारकाधीश सुदामा के घर आए. थैंक यू अगेन. देन Virendra Prasad, I don't know how many times I have disturbed him, right from raw materials to many other things. Every time, smilingly, he has complied because I am his senior in the college. Okay, although by 1 year. Dr. N.R. Bhattacharya, when he will come to speak, I will have the honor to say a few words about him. But I met him way back in '86 when I was a graduate engineer trainee in TRL, Belpahar, and Dr. Bhattacharya was the head of raw materials division in the R&D lab. A very energetic man. Most of the time he was out of Belpahar on CB, company business, looking into the different raw materials. A very thorough man, and everyone in the plant, right from T.K. Ghosh to everyone, respected him for his very sincere work. So getting these three people on the dais at the same time is, I can say, is a genuine achievement for me. That's all. About the course, about the naming of the course. I will say the second one first and the first one second. But before that, I would like to ask Momita, how much time do I have? Because it will take a little long time. Okay. The name is Panda-Samaddar-Sinha series. Professor Samaddar was my principal in CCT from 82 to 86, from where I graduated. Professor Sinha, I never had the privilege or honor to sit in his class, but I can only say that later on I met Professor Samaddar here as my head of the department when I joined here in 1995, 12th October. And if time permits, post-lunch, post-high tea session, I would love to show where we were 31 years before. It started from one room divided by a curtain. One half of the room was a classroom, the other half HOD was sitting. Now you understand the dangerous situation. Faculty members over here and the students. HOD is just separated by a thin boundary or wall of a cloth. He can hear everything what you are teaching. He can hear everything when what you are doing when the teacher is not around. Very dangerous situation. I do remember in one such instance that I was taking class in my very sweet melodious voice like this, and all of a sudden Professor Samaddar, he stormed out of the room, and outside the room there was basically a waiting area where I and Professor Adok was sitting. I took the class, and then Professor Samaddar was nowhere seen, and later on Sukumar, that is Dr. Adok, said, স্যার কি বলে গেলেন জানো, এই চেহারা হলো কি হবে, গলার আওয়াজ কি তাড়িয়ে ছাড়লে, मतलब he drove me out of the room. I had the melodious voice, I still am having that melodious voice. Okay, ये सब कोई जानते हैं. So getting Professor Samaddar was a rare opportunity as a head of the department. And as you know, when a sapling you put it just you plant it, it requires a lot more care. And even when as a father or mother, when you have a child and then it's little weak or requires little attention, you need to give more attention. You don't pay attention to healthy ones. So those days the protection that is required was given by not only Panda sir, he was helped by Dr. J.D. Panda, the director of DISIR that time. Everyone there in and around said either sir to Samaddar sir or Samaddar da. The only person who called Samaddar as Boidonath and Samaddar sir said Joggi Dada was Dr. J.D. Panda, who was his senior. Many people do not know that. Okay. They had a very cordial relationship like the one that I have with Birendra Prasad. So Dr. Panda had opened all his doors of DISIR as well as OCL for us. I have the documentary evidence, not only Dr. J.D. Panda but Mr. S.K. Chaudhary. He had written a letter. I was just rummaging through some of the old files. Dear Samaddar da, sorry for replying late, I was preoccupied. Here are the required raw materials which are ready. Please tell how you are going to pick up. They supplied the required material to run the department. They gave the required knowledge how to run and sustain a new department. They gave all the support when we required it in time of crisis. There were crises that not only me, first batch, Shantanu Behra and their 12 people, they know it, how difficult it was to sustain those days. Had it not been for Panda sir, Samaddar sir, and the third person, if you remember my 6th semester and 4th semester, I believe some of them are here. 4th semester has not yet gone, but 6th semester, and if I can see, I saw Piyush Kumar, so 8th semester is also here. If you remember the packing density, ternary, the simple single component packing in triangular configuration, when the port size changes from a square port to a triangular port, there you get the packing density 0.86. So that exactly happened when the 3 component system, that is Panda, Samaddar and HS Mighty, they basically did that. And it became to 0.74 packing density when the 4 people, Panda, Samaddar-Sinha and Mighty, they joined hands. And that's how the entire department stabilized, grew. Ittifaq se, I was in Banaras in July in connection with the admission of my granddaughter in BHU, and I had a talk. We are running short, but I am not running off short. मेरा कहानी हर टाइम अधूरा रह जाता है, तो कुछ नहीं होगा. हाँ, इसीलिए मेरी अधूरी कहानी. Okay, so 2 minutes. So that I met Sinha sir with a starting of 10 minutes. It went up to 1.5 hours. And I saw the person who was lying before me. It took me 5 minutes to realize that he is Dr. Sinha. And he expired in 2024 December. That particular scene, it motivated me, something to be done. These 3 people, I can take vote in any industry, any R&D, any academia. If I say, is there anyone who is neither a student of Samaddar sir or Sinha sir, most likely I will get a 0 answer. But these 3 stalwarts, who not only were the stalwarts in their own field, they are the stalwarts in the ceramic education. But unfortunately, nothing has been done from any society to remember them. So somehow it is a God's wish, Lord Jagannath's wish or somewhere. ये मेरा पागलपन है कि मैंने ये छोटी सी कोशिश की है. Every stone requires a large force to start rolling, but once it rolls smoothly. So कोर्स के बारे में बहुत लोग बताएंगे, मैंने खाली यही बताया कि क्यों ये कोर्स. और there is a paper by F.F. Lange, 1989, Journal of Environmental Society, which says powder processing technology for better reliable ceramics, something like that. I will go through it when I come to the actual class from tomorrow. That 89 paper, my guide gave me in 87 when I was doing MTech, and see that I read it. I have been reading because my guide has never said that stop reading that. And every time I read, I get a new dimension to that. So that basically says that every problem is in the green stage, many. We will talk about it, but already my anchor has said I am running short of time, I am stretching it. So thank you again. We will meet, and if at the end of the day you find this course to be useful, give all the credits to my volunteers and my coordinator. And if there is a lapse, you put the blame squarely on me. Thank you again. Jai Hind. So many things. अच्छा आप चीफ गेस्ट को सो मैं जाके भी नहीं गया. ये बहुत मुश्किल वाला आदमी है. Okay, now it's turn for the time to listen from the dignitaries, real dignitaries. So let me have the honor of inviting one of my guest of honor, Dr. Nikhil Ranjan Bhattacharya. As I have already mentioned, Dr. Bhattacharya is a very accomplished geologist. He is an alumni of ISM, now IIT Dhanbad. A pakka field man, although mostly in refractories industry, but in our short meeting with director, he talked about some terminology which our director said has very much appreciated, something related to mining. But we also have a department which is known as Earth and Atmospheric Science, which in my small understanding is something related with geology. I may be wrong, but something is related. Earth means geology. So he has a very wide exposure in that, and I'm very happy that he has agreed to come here. And I felt very sorry when he was climbing down the stairs in this station from platform number 2 to platform number 1, limping. I did not know, Dada, ki you had, otherwise I would have given a second thought before calling you. But thank you again for coming. And he was the person which Sri Ashok Agarwal ji will also agree that he has a real man for the ceramic raw materials as well as a geologist. अभी टाइम नहीं है, मैं बाद में बताऊंगा एनआर भट्टाचार्य जी का सिरेमिक डिपार्टमेंट का क्या रिलेशन है. That is in 1999 I got a note sheet. But right now it is time to hear from Bhattacharya sir. So please give him a big hand. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. Dr. Rao, our chief guest, Mr. Prasad, and all dignitaries who is present in the dais, and the guests from different organizations and students from different colleges and organizations. I welcome to all for this. Before I start, I must give tribute to Dr. Panda, Dr. Samaddar, and Dr. Sinha. Actually, I had close association with Mr. Sinha, and on his request, I was associated with this department for 1 year for teaching refractory raw materials, refractory and ceramic raw materials. So my association, and today I am very happy when I visited this about 25 to 30 years after. There are a lot of improvement in infrastructure, environment, teaching facilities. So I hope this function, this course will be benefited by so many participants. And before coming to this function, we are discussing with the director about interaction between industry and research organization or a technical institute is just started, but it should improve. I am happy to see that a lot of industrialists like Ashok Agarwal and representative from Katni Minerals and other two dignitaries. I think you are from industry? IFGL. So this is a good sign that it is beginning. I want more and more industry people should represent this type of function so that our students will have good interaction and have a field level industry, what industry requires. And this, again, I will wish all the participants to learn more and more from the experienced people and from their teachers. Thank you. I do not want to prolong my lecture for long. So many speakers are there. Goodbye and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Well, I promised Momita that after some time I will take over. She did not and keep promises. Bhattacharya sir, just as I said, वो कम बात बोलते हैं मेरे तरह नहीं, लेकिन काम बहुत करते हैं, तो टाइम में रहा. Now, it is my honor and privilege to invite Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya ji, Fellow of Royal Academy of Engineering. Rest of the things you can get in Google if you do Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya ji, Professor of Practice, IIT Madras. All the data you will get, so I need not repeat him. But I can only say he is the 5th Indian to be honored with Fellow of Royal Academy of Engineering. One such name is former Director General of CSIR, R.A. Mashelkar. I don't know 4 other names because he did not tell me the other 4 names. Okay. So, just a brief, he is a batchmate of and classmate of Professor Bankim Roy, Jadavpur University, 1986 Metallurgy. University Blue. Now, University Blue, I can only say that my Dean AR is clapping, which means that you need to have both a high rank in or maybe topper in academia as well as in his photo WhatsApp. I saw that he is doing a cricket. I would like to take some of his tests क्योंकि वैसे तो कभी नहीं होगा during my lecture. So a topper of Kanpur, 10 out of 10 both the semesters, in fact 3 semesters. Then sailed into the Commonwealth scholarship, Nehru Commonwealth, and then he went to the PhD, came back Tata, and right now after he is a professor of practice. So please give him a big hand, Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya.
Thank you, Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya, for that kind introduction and inviting me here, along with the consent of the kind and honorable director of this institute, Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, the dignitaries on stage, chief guest of honor, esteemed professors of this institute, and dignitaries off the stage. It's my privilege to be here. I'm not a ceramics engineer, but it's my privilege. It's also I'm very pleased to see that the Ceramic Society somehow has extended its arms towards me. So Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya spotted me giving a lecture at CGCRI, which is Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, and he promptly, in that meeting, in the audience, he invited me here. And here I am speaking at this workshop, which is on ceramics. It just so happens that my only dabbling with ceramics has been in setting up an advanced ceramics business for Tata Steel. And it's not the refractories business. It's the advanced ceramics business, which is dealing with initially medical ceramics and then something more advanced was the plan, and it still is the plan. So I was wondering what to say to an audience which is related to ceramics, and I cannot preach ceramics to ceramics engineers, like taking coal to Newcastle, as the old proverb goes. I have no intentions of doing that. But I was noticing that in the recent years, ceramics has come into very prominent level of exposure. Recently, Prime Minister Modi went to US and he had a meeting with Elon Musk. I'm sure you were thinking Trump. It's Elon Musk. And you know what gifts Prime Minister Modi gave to Elon Musk? He gave 3 books to his 3 children. Panchatantra, a book by The Crescent Moon by Rabindranath Tagore, and the Malgudi Days. Right? And you know what gift Elon Musk gave to Prime Minister Modi? It was metal. It looked like metal. It was the heat shield from his returnable, his re-entry, reusable space rockets. So ceramics, which is made of ceramics, ceramics gets that stature where the two happening countries in the world exchange gifts with. So I thought, what better mode of denoting progress of civilization, one through art and culture, literature, and the other through technology, represented by ceramics. So I think all ceramists should be proud about that. I think you can clap for yourselves. And then I thought of looking at where we are as Indians in ceramics. Our entire ceramics production for the country is about $7 billion. The numbers vary. It's about $7 billion. One of our neighboring countries with a similar population has a similar advanced ceramics market production of $35 billion, 5 times more. They have nearly 30% of the world market. We have about 5 to 7% of the world market. If you just look at these comparisons, you'll see that as Indian ceramicists, both students will come up in the next generation, but as academicians and as industry, we have a long way to go to make a mark in the world. Our space program has made a mark in the world. It's one of the best space programs in the world. Our space program needs re-entry capability. Yet we struggle with creating a material that enables re-entry. And I think that was Mr. Musk's message. And it is also a message to all of us that out of the $7 billion mark production in India, nearly 95% is tiles, which goes into construction. There's nothing wrong with that. It only shows that how little our industry has advanced in pulling more advanced ceramics. In pulling ceramics that are for medical applications, in pulling ceramics that are used for, say, tooling applications, in ceramics for electronics applications. Electronics industry in India is coming up. Many conglomerates are putting up plants. I'm not so sure whether the ceramics industry is progressing at the same rate in India. So where will all that come from? Obviously will be imported. If you look at human resource development in ceramics in India, and again, in comparison to a similar size population-wise country, which is our neighbor on the northeast, and it is not Nepal. We see that we produce about 200 ceramics engineers every year as a nation. We have NIT Rourkela, we have the institute in Kolkata, which keeps on changing its name.
No, IIT-BHU is...
I'm coming to that, but I'm saying, that's another one.
Changed.
Yeah, it changes its name. There's nothing wrong in it, but NIT-BHU, Anna University, etc. And we produce 200 roughly every year. The country I was mentioning, which is our neighbor, produces about 2,000. They have whole universities dedicated to just ceramics. It's a different issue that they have universities dedicated to individual materials. They have 2 universities dedicated to steel. They have 2 dedicated for aluminium. They also have and carbon fiber and magnesium, etc. They also have university dedicated to ceramics. Of course, they teach everything, but aligned to ceramics. Physics is taught aligned to ceramics, for example. That sort of human resource development is unparalleled in the world. But in order to get to a stage where you're dominant in the world in this material or any material, that country has shown the way forward. And there is no getting away from it that 200 is probably insufficient. Insufficient in creating a human resource base for the country which aims to be world leading in electronic materials, world leading in all metal productions, in green electricity, in electric vehicles. All of these need ceramics, advanced ceramics. So as the industry graduates to be, and as the proportion of non-construction grade, non-refractory grade advanced ceramics grows, I think it will be necessary to also focus on development of human resource in that direction, in volume and in quality. Which brings me to my last point, which is, I think it is very topical that such workshops are held. Yes, this workshop is aimed at a particular area in the value chain, in the production chain of ceramics, pre-firing. But it is important that each such process is discussed in detail and inculcated into the students, into the industry, and when we create an ecosystem that engages in this extremely important material which will take civilization into the future. So I congratulate the coordinators, I congratulate the director of the Institute for having this workshop. And I hope that similar workshops are held every year and it is given more publicity. And there is, very importantly, active participation from industry. Besides being a professor of practice at IIT Madras, I'm also founder of a venture capital fund. And I can assure you that, and one of our focus areas is ceramics. We will fund into ceramics. And we can assure you that we will continue to participate in the workshops, or similar workshops and conferences that you hold. Thank you very much and wish you great success. Thank you for inviting me.
I know that we are running short of time, but there is 2 things. One is, for everything else, it is said sky is the limit. For ceramics, sky is just the beginning. The beyond space venture is only possible with silicon carbide chips, not with silicon chips. Second is, I knew that you are venturing into that. That is one of the reasons why I wanted you to be here. Thank you. You will listen more to him after the lunch, after the tea break. But right now, it's time to invite the chief guest, Mr. Birendra Prasad. Please.
Good morning. So, all the distinguished personalities present on the dais and all delegates of the dais. So it's my great pleasure to be here. I must thank Professor Shantanu to invite me for such a great workshop. The name of the lecture series is Panda-Samaddar-Sinha Memorial, and I am one of the fortunate of those people who has worked under 2 of these great personalities. First one is Dr. Samaddar. So I am a student of Dr. Samaddar. So I had my classes under him. So 1983 to 87, I still remember. He was the principal of College of Ceramic Technology, and I was a student there. The second one, Dr. Panda. So I think I have worked for another 15 years under him. So not directly, but I was working in the OCL. That time it was OCL Refractories, and he was the director of DISR, Dalmia Institute of Scientific Research. So we had lot of interactions during technical discussions and all these things. So I worked directly to, out of these three personalities, I have worked directly to Samaddar and Dr. Panda. So I feel very proud out of that. Coming to the topic of this defect on the ceramic processing. So it's really very relevant. So as Professor Shantanu was telling, so we had discussion on this. Really the defects, a lot of people say it's as a rejection, some people say as a scrap. So defects, scrap or rejection, whatever happens in the manufacturing, during manufacturing of ceramics. So it's really a burden to the manufacturer. As you know, any ceramic material, it goes through different stages. It's a value chain. So starting from raw materials, then crushing, grinding, then mixing, pressing, then drying, firing. So it goes through a typical process. So any defect in any stage, that means whatever value you have added in the previous stages, that you are going to lose. So there is a loss of energy, there is a loss of material also, because if you wish to reclaim those materials, even then some of the materials will be gone as a spillage. So the loss of material, the loss of energy, the loss of fuel, the loss of manpower, ultimately the loss of money. So it's a waste. So defect is a very relevant topic. Here again, the most important part of defect is that any defect in the system, means any scrap, particularly for ceramic materials, where we are using our Mother Earth as the starting point. So any loss on the raw material means we are wasting our Mother Earth. That is another problem. And remanufacturing of the things means you are consuming, you are affecting more the environment because of the carbon dioxide emission. Because whenever you are going to reproduce the things, you are going to use more energy, more fuel, and more, etc. So because of that, we are affecting our environment also. So this topic, the defect in ceramics, it is really very relevant, and it's a point where we should discuss on this to reduce this one. If we can do this, we can reduce the total losses, we can reduce the waste of money, we can reduce the waste of consuming the Mother Earth, and ultimately we can improve our environment. So I will not take a lot of time. So I request all to extend our active participation and be interactive during the session so that we can learn and we can find some innovative ways to handle this defect of the ceramics, and we can get some good suggestions, solutions, so that we can implement in the industry and we can reduce all these defects. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me for this session, and I wish great success for this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Virendra Prasad-ji, for your very confirming that my raw idea is not all that wrong. Now it's time to invite our Honorable Director, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, for his speech.
The distinguished dignitaries on dais, chief guest of this 5-day workshop, Mr. Virendra Prasad, plant head of Defects Limited, and guests of honor, N.R. Bhattacharya, Dr. Devashish Bhattacharya, and Principal Coordinator S. Bhattacharya, Head of the Ceramics Engineering, R. Mazumdar, and Coordinator D. Sarkar. And sorry, I missed Professor Pratihar, our Dean, Sikh, and my faculty colleagues and other deans. From this card, I just really realized that the odd man out just not connected with ceramics as well as the names also. Bhattacharya, Bhattacharya, Mazumdar and Sarkar, and then I'm the only one, Rao. Right. Not only that, I belong to a alien discipline, that is mining engineering, and in the galaxy of the stalwarts connected with, directly or indirectly connected with the ceramic industries. As what has been said by Mr. Birendra Prasad, it is true that the topic is very relevant. This is about the controlling the defects in the manufacturing of ceramic materials and at the pre-fired industry levels, because of the cost it is involved, the energy that is being consumed, and today we are really concerned with the carbon footprints and carbon emission. So this is very a challenging topic for the students who must have just come back from the examination hall, and we understand that this is the time when our students at NIT Rourkela, sir, are preparing for the examinations, because this is absolutely the time when they prepare. It's not that they prepare a week ahead of or 10 days ahead. It's only. And ceramics, as what has been really discussed, I think the earth crust, the earth itself, the surface, it's all about ceramics. Because there are 3,400, I'm a mining man, and Professor N.R. Bhattacharya is a geologist, but still I dare to say that there are total 3,400 minerals. And as far as mining engineering is concerned, metallurgical processes is concerned, clay is a material which is unwanted. And clay is the raw material for ceramics. Just look at the paradox here. For the extraction of any metal from the ore, clay is not wanted. Clay is something which is unwanted material, gangue, what we call it as a gangue material. But that becomes the raw material for ceramics. And what I really know about a little bit of ceramics is all about the building materials. Right. So now, these days we are living in a house and where everything is ceramics, from the tiles to the basins to the cisterns to everything, even to the lamps also are made of ceramics. And I'm carrying a ceramic material in my body. That is my denture. This is the little one, the cap, tooth cap, which is made of ceramic materials. Why I really remember that one is that the dentist has said that this is one material, it is very hard, abrasive, heat resistant, and you can go through the MRI machines any number of times that you want to, because very often I go through the MRI machines because of my L4, L5, the problem. So now I just wanted the dentist to make sure that whatever the cap that you really use for the tooth, the molar, okay, that should be compliant to the MRI, the machines and all. So now there is no place where ceramics are not now being used, as what just now I heard that in electronics and in semiconductors and then in the medical fields, in the prosthetics and then denture materials, and then as it is, right, in the building materials, ceramics is really very, very, right, now the material which is vogue everywhere. Having said this one, what is most important here for the youngsters to realize is that the last part of this one, energy and carbon emission. I don't want to talk about anything about manufacturing of ceramics or the very aspect of manufacturing. It is impossible, humanly impossible to bring out without any defects. Not all. Some percentage of defects is bound to be present in whatever is the level in which you are trying to manufacture. I just now recollect a story. This is all about I think most of you realize that Japanese, Chinese, Koreans are really very popular in trying to make out the ceramic artifacts. Okay, there was one absolutely a beautiful the porcelain or the ceramic, the bowl which was kept in the exhibition hall, and then this Japanese man, while cleaning that one, he drops that ceramics bowl, the most precious bowl. And then when it is dropped down, naturally it's a brittle material. Though it is hard, abrasive and everything, it had broken into few pieces. And then he was scared, but then he is a man who is connected with ceramic manufacturing as well. What I really read in that particular story is that this particular, now the crack is a defect, now it is broken. What he has done is that he has put it together and then has put the gold in the cracks in which it is really opened out. And then he has whatever the polishing and whatever the vitrification that is required to make it absolutely polished material, he has done it. And then ultimately, that the value of that particular bowl after the crack and then after the refilling with the gold has enormously increased. So now what I mean to say is, to the young boys and girls here, is that defect is a part and parcel of the process of manufacturing. Whether you are manufacturing steel, whether you are manufacturing semiconductor chips, whether you are manufacturing anything, there is some percentage of the defect which is bound to be present here, bound to be present in the process of the very manufacturing. But what is most important is that how do we recycle this one? I really do not know. I'm not a ceramics man, as I've been telling so many times, that when we hear about a material which is not biodegradable, which is hard, which is abrasive, but then how to really put this one to use, when Mr. Birendra Prasad has said that we have got to reduce the ceramic, the defects. One of the reasons is that the material, the raw material comes from the Mother Earth. Okay, this is a non-renewable resource, is what you have got to really understand that. When it is a non-renewable resource, and then whatever the raw material that you yearly use for the ceramic tools and various other things, what we have got to understand in the advanced, the engineering of ceramics, is that how to recycle those which are really coming out with the defects. Now, whenever we are making a house, when we really try to use the tiles, there are no wide variety of tiles which are being used. When you lay the tiles, right, in front of the house, when the tiling is over, there is a heap of the material which is waste, because you have got to cut the tile to fit the size. But then what do we do? The question here we have is that what do we do with this material which has gone through the process of a lot of money, manpower, burning of fuel, and that waste is not just simple waste. That waste has a value. It's a most valuable waste. So now how to really recycle this one, I think, is the most important aspect of the ceramic, the advanced engineering of ceramics. With these few words, right, and those who have come from outside institutions, and NIT Rourkela, I take pride in stating that it's a beautiful campus. It's really a beautiful campus, and more than Professor Pradeep Sarkar is also here, we really identify that more than around 60% of the land is green cover. 60%. And ये चीज़ ताली बजाने के लिए नहीं है, इस चीज़ में कुछ there is a problem in this one. The reason is that campus is expanding. From the time it has really incepted with 2 departments, 250 students with 5 departments, and then today it is close to 9,000 students. And then to support this 9,000 students, and then Professor Bhattacharya, Dr. Devashish Bhattacharya, right, he'll understand because he's also connected with that. There is a student-faculty ratio. The faculty strength increases, non-faculty strength increases, the families are there. So now it is now a family of more than 12,000 residents on campus. But then 60% of the land is covered by green. And today our greatest hurdle is that these are all the plants which we have planted under various schemes of the government. Okay, and then we are paying crores of rupees in trying to replant them elsewhere because we want to expand the infrastructure here. And if I have got to create hostels for the growing the student strength, if I have got to increase the faculty apartments for the growing faculty strength, if I have got to make any, there are some departments, Earth and Atmospheric Science, which Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya stated that they are sharing the department with mining engineering. Geology is on top, mining is at the bottom, right? This is science of geology and then the extraction of, excavation of the mineral resources. Likewise, there are 4 or 5 departments sharing. In some buildings, there are 3 departments being shared. So now there is a requirement. But nevertheless, our campus is growing. It's a beautiful campus, lush green. And then this is the time that you see that there is a lot of flowers all around. There is a lot of flowers all around. Every time I used to take pride in stating that this is one campus where you find hundreds of butterflies, but then suddenly this year over, those butterflies are absolutely now vanished. Hardly you find 1 or 2 butterflies, right, flying around the various places. It only indicates that there is a gross imbalance in the ecosystem. This is also one important thing which my dear boys and girls, you have got to really think about, because energy is most important. Carbon is the most important. These are the 2 things. Efficient spending of the energy and reducing the carbon footprints and trying to take a balance of the eco. These are the 3 things which you have got to really take care. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best. I think that with the stalwarts here sharing their thoughts and experiences, you get enough information and the knowledge after this 5-day course. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Who said you are not ceramist? You are more than a ceramist, but there are 2 words. We get the mineral only when the mining engineering or mining engineers take it out. Second, coating. I have Professor Deven Verma, head of the Department of Biomedical. I have Professor Sudip Das Gupta. Both of them are biomedical researchers. They do understand. Professor Larry Hench, the phenomenal biomaterials, he said, bone is a living ceramic. All of us are made up of ceramic. It's not the denture. You, me, and everyone here. So thank you. We come almost to the end of the inaugural session, but when I am there, everything gets extended. Now we have a special announcement. Every department has a heart. Our department also has a heart. We can't see it, but we feel it. And without that heart, even us, we die. It's just a coincidence that we have, or we had, for the last 30 years or so, a heart of the department, or our attendant come technical assistant, come researcher, come everyone, Mr. Pradeep K. Mohanty or P.K. Mohanty, I don't know, his name is P.K. Mohanty, but everyone knows his Bapi Mohanty. He is known everyone to Bapi Mohanty. Mr. Bapi Mohanty is retiring on 28th of February. Mr. Bapi Mohanty is retiring on 28th of February, and the organizers decided to mark his contribution to the department through small return. We remember you, sir. You have done extremely. I don't think that anyone in this audience, whether he is a faculty member, whether he is a student, research scholars, anyone, BTech, MTech, PhD, even the faculty member staff, they can say that they have never ever received any help from Bapi Mohanty. So, to start the beginning, first of all, may I request Mr. Bapi Mohanty to please come forward to the dais. Please. Now, this, whatever is going to follow is, I am only the voice. Everything, please, आप सामने आइए, वहाँ छुप के मत रहिए. एक दिन के लिए तो सामने आइए. It will not be given by the people in the dais. आप यहाँ रहिए. It will be given by the people who have been offered help by all. So, may I request our former student, Madam Kavita Bishoy, who is in the audience, to come forward and present Mr. Bapi Sir a flower bouquet. थोड़ा सामने आइए, एक दिन तो सामने आइए, हर दिन तो पीछे रह गए. प्लीज कविता थोड़ा पीछे आ जाइए, लेकिन स्टेज मत छोड़िए. May I request, बापी जी आप यहाँ रख दीजिए. May I request now, Madam of the department, rather, not the Madam Sunipa Bhattacharya. Okay. 2000 graduate, now the Deputy General Manager of JSW Bellary, Madam Sangamitra Bharati. Incidentally, she did BTech project under so-called my supervision. Please, I would like you to please come forward and hand over a small memento to Bapi sir. Please. यही तो आप करते हैं ना, आपको पढ़ना चाहिए था. क्या लिखा है इसमें? थोड़ा पढ़ दे, थोड़ा पढ़ दे. या तो that was your job, madam. जोर से, उधर से घूम के. माइक, माइक, माइक मैडम. आप नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे. वही तो, समस्या अनेकों का फैकल्टी, स्टाफ, रिसर्च स्कॉलर, स्टूडेंट. समाधान एक, बापी, बापीदा, बापी भाई, बापी सर. Contact at bapi@g80.com. G80 उनका क्वार्टर नंबर है. Master of all trades, jack of none. Your shoes are too big for us to fit in, sir. Stay happy. आपसे हमेशा मदद लेने वाले. ये एक शब्द भी गलत नहीं है शायद. तो जोर से क्लैपिंग. फिर एक बार दे दीजिए. May I now request another 2000 pass out श्री विजय पात्रो. सॉरी, उनका नाम विजय पात्र नहीं है, जो नाम है वो बता नहीं सकता हूं. ऑलवेज सीरियस, मिस्टर टीसीपी. अच्छा, टीसीपी का नाम बताना है, पीछे से बोल रहे हैं. टीसीपी इज टेंशन चंद्र पात्रो. टेंशन चंद्र पात्रो.
This name was given by us only, not sir.
ठीक है. May I now call upon another former student, Professor Anupam Mishra. (2012 pass out. 2012 pass out. लगता है ये काफी अच्छा ग्रेड दे रहे, इतने पॉपुलर हैं. पहना दीजिए ऐसे ही, वर्ड से तो नहीं कर सकते. जस्ट नहीं ऐसे ही साइड से रैप हिम. अरविंद जी जो अपने आप को एकलव्य बोलते हैं, गुरु द्रोणाचार्य नहीं मानते हैं. प्लीज. ये प्रोफेसर आर के सिन्हा है, ये बापी सर चूज किए हैं. Now it's time to come to a closure. I have exceeded the time. I am sorry. I am always sloppy. So now it's time to give the mementos. So I request Momita to please take over.
Thank you so much, sir. After such a memorable moment, let me take the pride to share the moment to show our gratitude and appreciation for all the dignitaries who took their precious time to be part of this event. And we would like to show our appreciation with a memento. So to start with that, let me first present the memento to our Honorable Chief Guest, Virendra Prasad, and request HOD Ranabata Majumdar sir to present the memento to him. Please do the honor, sir. Next, I would like to request our Honorable Director K. Umamaheshwar Rao sir to present the memento to one of our guests of honor, Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya.
पीयूष तू सिनेमिक शॉट के फोटोग्राफर हो गया
Now I would like to request Professor Pratihar sir to present the memento to another guest of honor, N.R. Bhattacharya sir. Last but not the least, moment to honor our Honorable Director, K. Umamaheshwar Rao sir, and I will request Dr. Debashish Sarkar sir to please present him the memento. So this is the official end of the inaugural session of this workshop or the lecture series. So on behalf of the whole team and the Department of Ceramic Engineering and NIT Rourkela, I present the vote of thanks to one and all present over here for their valuable time and all the dignitaries for sharing their valuable experiences and words of wisdom with all of us. Now I request everyone to please head on for the high tea outside the BP auditorium and back with us within 15 minutes for the next sessions. Thank you, everyone.
There will be separate for dignitaries and the students. Aravind sir and others, please take care of that. Thank you again. We will meet shortly, maybe about next 20 minutes. We will have 3 plenary lectures after so please don't give away.